Good evening.
Hi.
Hi, I'm Andy Kindler.
Uh-oh.
It's trouble. We're trouble. I can sometimes tell in the first breath that I'm off to the races.
Yeah.
And it's not the kind of races that you want to bet on. Can you send me this Sunday? You know what commercial I don't like? Where they go, hey, you know a good house painter?
Yeah.
No, because you go ahead and send me him, and then he do a week from Tuesday, and then come over and sleep with my wife, and then you'll come over and give me another price, and thank you.
And I'm the neighbor who stands there with his mouth open as you do that.
Right.
Yeah.
Funny stuff. That's all I want to say.
Yes.
Funny stuff. Good evening, Josh, Elvis.
That's like the neighbor that eventually tackles Rand Paul.
Did he get tackled by another neighbor?
Yeah, by his neighbor.
No. A second neighbor?
No, someone else punched him though, or something. Or
Oh my God!
Did someone? No, something else happened though. I think
I would never punch anybody, and I would, unless you attack my wife, in which case I will run away. I will take that. If you start hitting my wife, I will take that as an opportunity to 23 skidoo, Josh.
Chance.
23 skidoo.
Yes. The family crest. The Kindler family crest.
I think it was Alfonso Kindler, as if that name was what became Ellis Island.
What are you, Gabe Kaplan now?
Who am I?
It was my uncle, Alfonso
Did I ever tell you about
Kindler.
my Uncle Tanous? Yes. Someone had an Uncle Tanous, though. I think that's Danny Thomas.
That was Danny Thomas.
Yeah.
That was one of my dad's favorite left field references. He'd pull an Uncle Tanous once in a while.
That show is not a great show.
I never watched much of it.
The Danny Thomas show.
Yeah, I never. It was never in any kind of like it was only like a Nick at Night thing, and it was never in rotation as a rerun when I was growing up.
You know, when you think about the golden age of, I don't even know what I'm saying, but when you have a show like The Honeymooners,
yeah,
it stands up today. It was like, I would say this. I'll use the word subversive, Josh. Subversive, because Jackie Gleason didn't rehearse. I did hear Louis. I tell you this about Louis C.K. once saying, "That's what I should have done with my original Louis show. I shouldn't have rehearsed." Oh, that's the only thing that separates you from Jackie Gleason. It's a show number. Perush knows what show it's from. Anyway, did I make a point?
No, not yet. Subversive, Jackie Gleason.
Yeah, because it was like more than I Love Lucy, although I Love Lucy is a classic. I just probably watched them too many times. No, similar to I Love Lucy. It's just like you can really like live in the bits, even if you've seen them before. I don't know how to describe
Why is that
things.
subversive?
You know why I wanted to say subversive?
Yeah.
Because I've used it a couple of times correctly.
Yeah.
And so I figured I'd drag it out again. Every once in a while, I think of a word will make me seem smart.
Yeah.
So I would, for me, Letterman was subversive.
Letterman was subversive.
Thank you.
Okay.
And I'm just saying I can use it properly.
Sure.
Jackie Gleason was just a hoot. That's what I should say.
Right, that's better.
See, this is another example of how I'm getting better through therapy and drugs. I don't stick to my guns. I'm not as I'm not. You know what? This is a condition I have now. This is a condition that if I hear a sound, a human being is not supposed to hear a sound and then look like I'm a hunting dog. What is the matter with me?
I don't know.
What could be that surprise? And I hear a sound and I've heard it before and I'm still have to restrain myself from saying, what's that all about? And then it's never answered because who would want to answer it? And that's why this podcast is second to the bottom of the bottom 100. No, I'm kidding. We're rising up.
We did hit 200 on the comedy podcast at one point, I guess.
That's pretty good, right?
Yeah.
Why am I
just
spinning?
for like a second, I think we hit it, but
you know, it's not about numbers for us.
Someone sent only because someone sent me a thing soliciting a ratings thing saying, "Hey,"
yeah.
So it may not even be true.
It could be true though, and even if it was true,
we had the Marin bump.
Yes, I believe that. That's very exciting. Oh, I went into a sandwich place, Mendocino. I'll say the name. Every once in a while, I get a hankering for that place. I hanker for it.
Mendocino Farms.
Yeah. I don't go there twice a week. We're not like, this show isn't like the car Car Talk guys, where we tell you our favorite. I don't know what they did really. I never listened to the show much.
That's what they did. They laughed at their own jokes.
Click and clap, right? Yeah. So I go in there and someone recognized me from the Mark Maron podcast. How is that possible?
From the Mark Maron podcast or Maron the show?
No, it was 2 days ago.
Oh, they must have heard your voice.
Yeah, but is it? I mean, yes. I don't like to think I have. I mean, do I really have that distinctive a voice? I have lots of range and dynamics. Now I have to go. I don't have to go early, but I can't go late. I got to still pack tonight.
You're off to Acme Comedy Club in Minneapolis
in
tomorrow,
the morning,
which will be too late to plug, but. Nice that you're going.
It's like a running gag with you to bring up things. Well, it's not my gag. I bought it for $4.95 from the Hoo Hoo.
Hey, ha ha ha.
Look at that! I'm really working on my Camel non-filter laugh.
It's really good. You're almost to Plachette.
I think of a new joke, and I think a new topic for the state of the industry. Because if nothing, this show. Our lives, anything. I can text you, and any kind of is all about this speech, which is the speech that I hope to end all speeches. But okay. Now I'm talking. I'm doing this in therapy too. There's a specific reason why I get panicked.
Yeah.
Because I go, you know what I say? You're on a roll, Andy. Because this is what I learned in therapy. I have 2 tracks going at every single second. What's that look on Josh's face mean? Ba. Do I need to be worried about what his face means?
Right.
Etc. So that's what causes me to panic.
Yeah.
But do you remember what I was saying?
You didn't get far enough in to get any traction on it.
All right, but it was a good story. I'll tell you that.
Okay, well, maybe.
There's something about numbers and the podcast, and it's taking off.
Someone recognized you at Mendocino Farms?
Yes.
Or did it
but then how did they recognize me? And then I was going to say something pithy about voiceovers, something revealing about myself, something intimate detail.
Yeah.
Like that.
Wow. And we missed it.
But I have so much prepared stuff tonight. I don't know what you got to talk about, but oh my God. If you don't get fooled by the fact that you only see one note.
I won't take it. I won't infer anything.
And thank you for using infer properly. The speaker implies and the listener infers. And I'm one of these people who claims to not care about. I'm not a grammar troll, but there's some kind of a horrible troll living just below the surface.
No, you're not one of those people unless it happens to be one of the things you know. Then you're right there with it.
I figure you won't get too mad at me for doing it in this context. I wouldn't do it on Twitter. But I have to. I have a great need to communicate that I know about the topic that we're talking about.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be I would lie about it.
Right.
But now let's say we both like something, rhythm and blues.
Okay.
And I say, what's your favorite thing? All I will be thinking of is what am I going to say that Josh will go, I thought I knew rhythm and blues, but you, I have to, but you. So, well, I'm glad we got past that.
Yeah. Well, we did our big live show last week, which will now air next week.
Right, as a special bonus. It's not a bonus.
It's just that week's show.
Why do we have? It's like, shouldn't
it's airing right after your speech in Montreal. So
either it'll be the end of my career. I will spontaneously bleed. I could go at any moment too. That's what Letterman told me once on the panel. I said, "How are you feeling, Dave?" He goes, "I could die at any moment."
Right.
And I think about that a lot regarding myself, but only as a movie. Where you're crying at the funeral. I can't believe he's gone. I can't believe. Oh, Susan, give me a hug. Such and such and such. And after Andy's funeral, we're all gonna go to Poquito Mas
and roast him.
Yeah. Andy insisted. I think a really mean prank would be someone who insists, a really good friend of someone who insists on something just highly unpleasant for their funeral, and it's just a prank. And then on your headstone, got you from the great beer. I still got you. Wing!
Would there be like a little zip whistle that blew in the wind?
If I had a zip whistle, you know, I used to make fun of sound effects.
But now,
and isn't there a lot of broken windows sound effects? And this guy yells a lot. I shall tell you what to do. That used to be a lot. It must have been a public domain reel of sound you could get. Guy yelling.
Why I oughta. Stuff
right.
Like that.
And they would just put that in. What's that called in a morning zoo? It's like a tease or it's
a
sting.
Non sequitur.
Yeah, and it's just they're really bad.
Yeah.
I don't think you can do it well.
No, wouldn't try.
And that's all I've come here tonight to say, Josh.
I'm glad you delivered your load.
Let me just tell you something. I am very happy to be back indoors.
Indoors?
No, in the private, in the studio.
Like not with an audience?
Oh, yeah, because I learned a lot about myself through, I mean, look, I'm not saying that Josh slapped me around per se. I'm not saying that he threw me up against a wall. I'm not saying he read me what did he read?
Riot Act?
Yeah, you didn't read me the Riot Act.
No.
But, and you
I
didn't
played you Elvis Costello's Riot Act in the car, I think.
That's true.
You can read me the Riot Act.
There's something both delightful and disturbing about how quickly you will launch into an Elvis Presley. No. Disregard that, please.
There's something disturbing about some of your shit,
It's
too.
not, because Elvis Presley is great. I'm so tired of you tearing him down.
Isn't? Is that what you're saying? You're saying Elvis Costello
He's
isn't?
great, too. So's Lou Costello, who Elvis named himself after. That's the story I know. Probably not even true.
It's not true.
It's not true. No. I only learned those original stories that everybody knew, and I just assumed they were true. Eddie Haskell went to Vietnam. Right. Happened. Right. Something with Alice Cooper. Did he also go to Vietnam?
He bit the head off of Ozzy Osbourne, I think.
Yeah. But the live chicken thing, none of those things are true. Like someone getting killed at Altamont, never happened.
No, wait.
Hold it a second. And by the way, if you were at Altamont and you were insulted by that reference, I apologize. Because you never can forget an incident like that. Even how many years later?
50 almost.
50 years later, listening to a podcast. Hey, get over it, Altamont whiner. First of all, I've never seen the movie all the way through.
No.
You
got freaked out when the violence happened.
Well, I don't like when they were starting to hit Marty Ballin. Isn't that his name?
Yeah.
You know, I never got into, if that was required as part of us doing this podcast, we might be set upon. I mean, anytime you go out to a club, you really don't know what's going to happen. Somebody could be horrible, but I don't think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
As much as it could happen.
I don't know. Your fight or flight response seems to be right near the surface.
I thought it was, my response is somehow, anyway, there's too many ways for me to get attention in the live, too many distractions for someone with my condition in a live show. But now that I've learned from it, and I think we should only do live events.
I think probably that's not the recipe. No. But we'll keep doing them. We'll get better at them.
Well, I think we should have little contests like tetherball, pin the blame on Josh. But we did have a meeting too. This was a big week for me.
We had a meeting. Oh, we did have a
big
meeting.
That's
right.
Do you mind me talking about the meeting?
Because
I think it's so good. It's a classic.
Oh, it was fun.
It's a classic Josh Andy thing. So I get there. It's supposed to be at 10:30 in the morning. I got there at 10:32, which for me, maybe 10:35.
Maybe.
Oh, listen to him. He this is one of Josh's things. He goes, look, man, it's not something I hassle over. But then he knows he has an exact record of the time, how long the duration was, and what most annoyed you about the meal.
Okay. I do. I'm logging a new annoying thing right now. Let me just get that in there. Okay.
Okay. So, it was a meeting about writing the speech, and I don't think I was prepared. And then, I don't think I cried, but you made a sound. See, because of my upbringing, I don't want any more letters about giving me free Quaaludes. I forgot where I was going with that. I'm not high either. I wish I was high.
Yeah, you're just tired?
No, I'm just not good at what I do. Did you ever think of that? I know I could, if I was to go like this,
you have an accountant on at 11 p.m. April 14th look about you today.
Oh my God. We have to, and of course you would make me do the podcast on April 13th.
Oh, like you hadn't filed an extension.
No, I thought I was the accountant.
You were, but then you turned it on me, so I had to go back at you.
Hey, if I remember to tell my accountant to file the extension, I consider it a good
win.
year. We popped the bottles.
Yeah.
We uncorked the popcorn, the champagne. I feel like I could be going through in years from now when they use these tapes as in medical classes
Right.
to show what happened in the final days of when the Trump thing.
We call this slippage. So we were at breakfast at the breakfast meeting, and and it wasn't productive.
It wasn't productive.
No.
What? Now, here's the thing. I never asked why we were meeting, and I was going to prepare for it.
Yeah.
And there was very little I needed to do to prepare for it.
Yeah. Well, first of all, you wanted to meet because it was the last chance to meet before you left.
I thought you suggested it.
No.
Why would I call you to a non-meeting?
You didn't. It was in the car.
You know what? We should have one more.
It was on the way back.
Should waste.
It was on the way back from the live show.
Oh, so I said to you, hey, let me waste a little more of your time.
Yeah, I think that was the gist
Right, okay.
of it. You were still jazzed from the new material at the live show. I think.
Right. And we
were trying to create momentum.
And I say, hey, can you give me a copy of that show? And you go, are you going to listen to it? And I had to say, I don't know.
Here it is on a thumb drive.
Oh my God. This is like, here it is. Thank you, Josh.
We had University of Oxford thumb drive.
What does that mean?
It's from Oxford.
Thank you, Allison. Oh my God, that looks beautiful. Will this make it the thing funnier?
No, but smarter.
Oh, but I did have a breakthrough from that meal.
Breakdown or breakthrough?
Well, both.
Okay,
And
one begets the other. Hopefully,
what happened to me is when I think I've done something wrong, which no one has said that I did anything wrong except me. But if push comes to shove, I'm so annoying that at some point you're going to go, hey, maybe you did something wrong. Calm down. I could feel my feelings get hurt, and I could feel my lack of you know why I start to get less defensive? Because my defenses are weak. You know?
Yeah.
And this is what I always.
But there was none of me going, why aren't you prepared? What do you want to do?
Yeah, but you had to hear me just go, Baba hamina for 20 minutes. I kept saying the same thing over and over again.
Yeah.
And then you would say, but we're not that. It's not if Archie Bunker was a Nazi. And I said, but here's what happens to me. And people would know this from listening to the show because I'm so articulate.
Yes.
Thank you.
Right. Let's move on.
But sometimes I can't get the words out. I wonder what that is. I guess if I was a genius, I wouldn't have that problem so much. But I just can't get them out sometimes.
Yeah. I had a breakthrough too, which is I'll just write jokes and send them to Andy. That seems to be the best thing I can do for you because because my shortcomings come into play too because I'm a control freak. So I see the situation and I see you going hamina with a pile of things and I go, I can fix this. Let me take over. And it's not my speech. It's your speech. It's not our speech. It's your speech.
But you could take. I know you could take it
yeah,
over.
but I don't want to.
Yeah.
I don't want to do that for a myriad of reasons. One, because it's not my gig. Two, because that would be rude.
Right.
It's your thing. You've been doing it for 22 years.
Yeah.
You've gotten through this without me the vast majority of the times.
Well, but I still think that the message, if you go past what you were saying, that you were frustrated, I kind of got the message though, was because it's very frustrating.
Well, I just didn't want to do another "What's Wrong with Me" session. I didn't, and that's what it was becoming. It was like, this is hard. I'm bad at this. What's wrong with me? And there's no need to do that when I can just write you some jokes and send them your way, and you can ask me for whatever you want.
Right.
But I don't want, but it's at this point I feel destructive trying to inject process into this.
No,
trying to inject structure into it when you have your own thing.
No, it's going to see the thing that I've done already is I'm already way better along than I was last year.
Yeah, well, there's a list of jokes at least,
Yeah,
that you feel pretty good about.
Right. It's just that it's like when people, if I'm doing an interview before the speech and they ask me, what's in the, who are you going after this year? Well, my mind wants to go blank.
Yeah.
Because I for some reason, it's like.
When you put it in that context, it sounds weird too. Who are you
going after this year,
becomes, huh? Yeah.
Andy Kindler's of the studio.
Andy the assassin Kindler's here.
That's right. Now you do this speech every year at the Montreal Just for Laughs Festival. It's pretty good. You make fun of Jay Leno, right? Is that how you do? I just went into the I Wish I Was Better.
Yeah.
You don't like that Jay Leno, do you? Huh? These things haunt me. My own lines. Much as I'm sure Foster Brooks could not hear anybody else talk about how their wife was from Buffalo. Right. You just have a breakdown. Right. Do you know the background behind the Slowly I Turned story?
No.
But you've heard it.
Yeah.
It's okay. If you don't say Niagara Falls, and then he goes, Slowly I Turned. If anybody can fill it in, I'm sure Perush knows.
Step by step.
Inch by inch. Yeah. And I murdered him and I smoked him. I don't even know the derivation of it.
I don't either.
Yeah. And look, here's the thing. You have a sophisticated communication system because you both said, I don't either and I couldn't care less at the same time. Right? It is a difference. I'll show you the difference.
You inferred that from my implication.
Yeah. Here's the difference. If I said, oh no, I'm curious. Let's get on that. And this is what you said. No, absolutely not. No. Do you know who played in the second Wolfman movie? Not the Lon Chaney Sr.
Yeah.
Did Lon Chaney Sr. play the Wolfman?
I don't know. Lon Chaney Jr. did.
But what is Senior? We never think about his father anymore. That's how it happens. I wish I could punch myself without getting in trouble.
Yeah.
Without it hurting.
Okay.
But somehow it would reset me.
Well, if you ever find that magic mime move to make it all happen.
But now I'm ready. When I was in the club, and I realized what my mistakes were. Wait till next time, I'm going to overcompensate the other way, and then I'm just going to be insane by about 2 years from now.
Yeah. Not
really. I'm going to get healthier. The more I get healthy, the less you're going to hear from me. That's how you'll know. Because my wife also is not thrilled with all of my therapy stories, and I mean she's very nice about it, but she's gone through things before. She doesn't have to hear me. And then I realized
I'm better.
I realized that when I was 5. Oh God, is that an impression of a child I'm doing?
I don't know what it was.
I remember that I was 5, and I can't even do a joke about psychology, but I should write some for my actual act.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do phone sessions or anything when you're on the road?
I never have.
Yeah.
I didn't think about that. It hasn't been offered to me.
I know some do Skype sessions.
Oh, Skype. Yeah. Well, I think I'm going to be okay. I'm going to not see. How do you know I wasn't going to see my therapist for a couple of weeks?
Because
I just assumed.
No, because you're in Minneapolis this week and Montreal the following week.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, you're like a psychic. I had the particular show. We did the first particular show.
Oh, how did that go?
At the Hayworth Theater. It was very much fun.
The Dynasty Typewriter?
The Dynasty Typewriter, which, as I said that evening, stays on the tongue. Stays on the tongue like as if a manual typewriter fell off your tongue. And that joke didn't do great. It's a nice venue. I really like it. The only thing is, it's like you're high above the people.
Yeah.
And,
it's old-timey theater-ish, like...
and I need to listen to
Largo, kind of.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, like the second Largo. Yeah, but it's like... I've never gotten, but even at Largo, I don't know what I'm saying. You can't recapture your dreams or whatever. There's never going to be like another Largo like that or Luna Park.
Right.
So it's an unrealistic desire to have that as my Largo experience today. I have to get used to the change.
Right. But we're talking about Dynasty Typewriter and the show.
See, if you did more of that, I wouldn't look crazy.
Right, and I'd sound like a douche all the time.
And there were good comedians on the show. And
I really thought I should be invited since I was in the first canceled one at the last venue.
You didn't get to do your spot last time?
No.
Oh my God.
I know. I feel really slighted.
And this is how you had to find out too. You went, are you doing your particular show? Yeah. I'm doing it here. What's the big secret about? Because I know that you eventually are going to want to charge me for the particular show. I don't know how much do you pay for something like that?
A set. That's all I want.
Oh my God, you are the worst negotiator. No wonder why such and such and hoop-a-doop. See, at least I'm able to stop myself from what?
I don't know.
I'd like to not be in control at some point.
Yeah.
But all I can do now, it's I want to do mindful meditation, and you told me to do it.
Yes, and it was.
I have no memory.
So fucking irritating.
I have no memory of you saying it now.
Right, because of what I said, because you weren't fucking listening to me. That was
another thing that was annoying you.
That was killing me at that breakfast.
And
so it literally happened like this. I said, because I could tell there was like 9 different voices in your head telling you you're a bad person while I'm sitting there just trying to fucking write a joke. And so I went, what would really help you is some kind of meditation. And you immediately said, I know what you're going to say. Stop smoking pot for 2 weeks. And I said, no, I just said what I was going to say, which is meditation. And you weren't fucking listening. And that's my point. You got to get some of these voices out of your fucking head.
That's true. But the thing that's it's not sadder, but I do hear it. I just don't comprehend it. Like I could maybe go, meditation. You said meditation. Part of me, as soon as you said that, reminded me that I need to do meditation, and then made me also want to claim to have done some. Because I have done some, but who cares?
You should do TM or something.
Yes.
Because there's a lot of people I know who are strung like you, for whom it's like massively helpful.
Right.
Like life-changingly helpful.
Well, I want to get
more than a CPAP machine even helpful.
Oh, don't, please. There's no reason. Don't make me choose.
But you don't have to. It's the beautiful hand-in-hand nature of wellness.
What am I thinking?
But I just think, when it becomes so fucking clear that there's so many fucking nasty voices in your head that need to be vented out, and meditation is the best way to do that.
Right.
Because it just quiets them,
Yeah.
At least you could start at 0 at that point. You'll build back up to all the voices probably, but at least you'll get a chance to be at 0 for a minute.
Well, what I'd like to do, since I've tried it before, I'd like to just start trying it. But I don't want to go to one of those centers that cost you $4,000.
You don't have to.
Because I'm a Jew.
Call Laura House, comedian and meditation teacher.
Did you take lessons from her?
No, but she's a friend of mine and I trust her.
I've known her longer than See, everything becomes. I don't even know why what I'm trying to one up about half the time.
Especially when I'm trying to fucking help you.
You have helped me. You have helped me because. So the last few days, I still keep my modus operandi, I still try not to yell at myself. You gotta write those things, gotta write those, maybe I'll visualize you saying, you gotta write that thing.
I know.
You gotta write that thing. So the fact that I'm scared of you motivates me.
I know, but I hate that role. I don't want it.
No, that's not true. I mean, I'm only kidding. I'm being facetious. Woo!
No, but there's a certain amount of energy that does come, if I say, hey, like this, like, can you send me blah or generate then suddenly you owe me X and I become the deadline giver.
Right.
And then it's all about you disappointing me and he's going to be mad and I just don't.
But it's up to me to not keep being the same way with everything till I'm dead. I mean, before I die, I'd like to act like a normal human being.
Well, that's all well and good, but at a certain point, it's like, I don't want to go around in the same circle. There's a way around it sometimes too. And that, like in this case, I really think, like I said, I don't want to impose my fucking process on you because it's not helping. All it's doing is making you get hung up on fulfilling my process and not as opposed to just moving forward on, whether you will move forward on your own anyway, I don't know, but at least it won't be, it won't be because you were trying to please me. It's not,
I know exactly what you're saying. Yeah. You're not saying it that way. But now the thing is that, last year and the previous years, I was still addicted to Twitter. It's almost like if I was an alcoholic, it would be Twitter would be my alcohol.
Yeah.
So I have to admit in a way that I am like an alcoholic with Twitter. So that doesn't mean that I can't use it sometimes well.
Right.
But
you're saying you have a social media addiction and it's kind of icky.
And it's kind of icky. Yeah. And it really is because, before I know it, it's like I'm involved in this minutia that I don't really care about.
Right.
And I'm starting to realize working on whatever I want to work on, the act or whatever the thing is just can be maybe not as much fun, but sometimes it can be fun because you come up with ideas.
Right.
So the only organizing tool that I've done now that I know is much better is I've saved all of the drafts of everything in the same area on my desktop, dated a certain way. So it used to be that I would, years ago, out of stupidity, I would keep working on one large document.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest thing. You could lose it so easily. Like you save as
right.
30 pages long.
Right.
So I don't know what I meant to say by that, but the point is I am more organized. And organization is the whole thing. And not the whole thing, but a great deal of it for me. I know it sounds boring, but maybe I'll add pictures in the book. But anyway, I'm getting more excited. And so I thought of something today was, why shouldn't Ellen DeGeneres be required to try to entertain, like with a voiceover? I've never heard a flatter, it's like she's committing to sounding casual so hard that, what I'm talking about, right? Spectrum. We learn about tomorrow. Look at this guy. I want his job. Or whether you don't, or whether you do. Tuesday.
I think it's a mistake to do a Spectrum ad since they mostly run on Spectrum only.
That's really bad. Yeah, what? I didn't even. That's a good point. I'm seeing it, and I have Spectrum.
Right.
First of all, it's a terrible name, Spectrum. Spectrum. It's a kind of a name like amalgamated.
Yeah.
It's just trying to say,
how's your cable service? It's somewhere on the spectrum.
How much money are they got? Oh, I guess they're not spending as much money if they're advertising to me,
right,
on their thing.
Yeah.
But they're like an aggregate. They are like the ultimate aggregator or something.
They're a cable company. Yes, they are the ultimate aggregator. Right. That's what they do. They aggregate channels.
So here's what I tell you, fucking cable people or anybody, DirecTV. look, I'm on to your game. No, I think we all just want to be treated fairly. And that it doesn't happen a lot in the cable game. But I do think it's happening now because I do think competition has brought prices down.
Yeah.
You know? But
I got no.
Well,
I don't have any fuel for your fire because I don't give a shit, and B, actually, Spectrum came through for me a couple, the last 2 interactions with them have been very positive.
Not only is this not what I wanted. Oh, look, I like the people at Spectrum as much as any other frequency, but. You know where it's all going? It's all going on demand. All right, get me out of here. Get me out of this stupid subject.
What the fuck?
I can't stop it.
Well,
I can go to the weather. I can go, how much do you pay in your gas bill? Do you pay your water and your thing on the same thing? Or are they split up? These are things that I think of as conversation starters.
Yeah, at bus stops and stuff.
Well, I'm always scared on an elevator. I know it sounds like a cliche, but I still have never gotten more comfortable with not wanting to look like I'm a serial killer or not wanting to look like I'm looking at the person.
So you're just a stare straight ahead.
I do the phone.
Do you continue a conversation if you're stepping into an elevator with other people?
Oh, if I'm with somebody else, it's 2-on-1 anyway. It's all the Andy Kindler show.
Yeah.
That I think I do have a tendency to do. If I'm having a conversation, I go in an elevator and someone's there and I think I'm on, I will try. It's like singing in the supermarket. There's something a little off about it.
Yeah. The need for audience.
Yeah. And people will hear next week, the live show. It's a different sensation than this show. I mean, not a completely different sensation, but it is, to feel that you're only tuned in to audience response. Well, that was a good thing for me to learn.
Yeah.
Was that after all these years, and people, people think, "Oh, you're not scared about." It's like I am scared.
Terrified.
I'm terrified of silence. So that's a good thing for me to learn. It's not that I'm even terrified of it as a concept. It just in the moment. I assume I'm doing terribly.
Yes.
Maybe it's because a lot of the things I say are not necessarily zingers.
Well, it's there is the Kindler method,
yes,
that comes into play. So
right.
So,
but if you see the seams on it, then it's a little artificial.
All right.
I don't want Kindler sucralose.
Right. Did you end up feeling like it was productive for you though?
Yes, I did, good. Because basically in my regular act, if you can call it that, I do. My act.
Yeah.
I would like to be less tied into the audience response. And there's such when you tell yourself that I never tell myself I'm not, but I tell myself I'm going to do what I'm going to do regardless of the response. But then if I let the lack of response get to me, then I'm actually changing the character of the room or something like that. Right. And we'll be back with Talking Funny.
Well, it was a fun night overall. I felt a little school marmish at times because I just couldn't figure out any other way to be. But it was very cool. Perush,
unbelievable,
and Yoshi Yamamoto both flew out from their respective.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Yoshi Yamamoto.
You just change it.
Every week I can't remember what the song is. It the Macarena?
It's the Macarena. But someone wrote in today saying is he trying to do Rock Me Amadeus and then turning and failing and making
Rock Me Amadeus. No, I think it's always it's just bad what I do. I don't call them impressions. I call them like slight inklings. All right, that's it. Take that out. And also take out everything else.
That was cool. Joel Madison in the audience. Mark Brazil came out, creator of That 70s Show.
And he was great.
My good friend Ricky Maybe was in the audience. Tony DeSena, former Tonight Show with Johnny Carson writer.
I think he had a Tonight Show themed shirt.
I don't know. Didn't see
or something about the Tonight Show. So it was great seeing Tony. And, I didn't pick up their tabs because that's where our money is.
Yeah.
Is friends.
Right. Yeah. Hey, you haven't paid me my money yet either.
I just realized that today as I deposited the check. But we have to decide whether we're going to give Showbiz Studios a little taste.
Sure, he gets to wet his beak, but not before me.
Why do you need it so? First of all, you've made so much money on writing and directing movies. It's like you're raking it in. I have to, but you? I could give you, do you need it tonight? I can give you cash.
No, I need it tonight. Go to a cash machine.
No, I actually have cash on me, so. I'm worried now. Why? Have something, did you let a payment go? Oh, that's the best, the best sign is when your podcast partner yawns.
I didn't yawn. I itched my arm, though.
What?
And it didn't mean steal home.
Hey, isn't that song? Itching my arm on a riverboat queen.
What the fuck, man?
I took hitching a ride. It's itching my arm. I realize I don't really know the difference between who does the song the house in New Orleans. I thought it's always Three Dog Night.
No,
it's not.
That was I don't. I mean, that sounded like Tiny Tim playing with the animals, but
it's the animals.
Yeah.
And then I realized the Turtles. Why didn't the Turtles have at least 4 more albums?
They weren't happy together.
We'll be back with our classic oldies comedy. Who put the shmoo in the shmoo-ba-doo-ba-doo?
They still play together, those guys, though. Flo and Eddie.
Flo and Eddie was the Turtles?
Yeah.
Oh. Interesting. I think I was too young. That's what it was. If I was 21 when they came out, I would know all those groups. That really was the most obligatory. That's another thing I like to show off about. I want when I say people go, what musicians do I like? I want every musician I cite to make the person go, this guy is a fucking genius, a crying, sensitive genius with the music he listens to.
It's amazing. His taste is just like, oh man, I wish I could be him.
Yeah, wish I could be eclectic like him. Yes. So I don't know why. I don't know why I'm getting into that one-upmanship. But it's very hard, Josh. We're here. We're sitting in your. We can't say where we are. We're in your panic room.
Because you're here.
No, I think the world could, and if it does, end.
I'm just saying, it's inherently any room you're in.
That's true. But this meeting, I did not imagine that the Putin-Trump summit.
Oh man, that was today.
Would be. I mean, I wake up in a dream state, literally all the time. Every day something happens.
Yeah.
And this one.
Today was special, though.
Yes.
Today was special. Today felt, it didn't feel turning pointy, but it felt like you could feel the world's jaw drop all at once, kind of, as it was happening.
And when he says, he goes.
You wish it was a turning point. It should be a turning point, but it was all. The Republicans who are condemning him are people who've already gone out on that limb against him. Yeah,
but the limb might be falling now, if that's the right metaphor, or the limb, maybe they should hit themselves over the head with the limb. But the thing is that he's when I have hated him forever, but I didn't even know that he did things like obsessive Kane Mutiny style rantings, every single time with the 33,000 emails. You know where they went? She erased them, she said. It's either she erased them or she didn't. She said they were private emails. Every time he says it, that means that something is sociopathically wrong or whatever the word would be.
Yeah.
He's criminally insane.
Yes, it is.
And it's,
it's a pathology that's taking us all down.
And Putin, I really think Putin is overrated in a way.
Yeah.
Except that he wins usually.
Well, I mean, it's
taking candy from.
Yeah, I mean, it was almost just like, I cannot believe my luck. What the fuck? I cannot believe this.
I know. And he had, I think he had a problem. What's the look when you have the canary ate the bird or whatever, or the bird thing?
Yeah. The canary ate the bird? Is that what you're going
No, I think it's the other way around.
It's the cat that ate the canary.
Right. And it just made, he's like, he couldn't believe it. It's like, oh.
It's the cat that made the canary blow him first and then ate him.
Now, Josh, this is the kind of stuff, the hard-edged stuff that Josh does on his left-wing political. And he also uses Bush crime family, right?
Yeah, constantly. As if there's any other way to refer to their syndicate.
I'm writing down an idea, Josh.
Remember when Bush threw up on the Japanese prime minister? That was less embarrassing than Trump flipping on his back and peeing on himself in front of Putin today.
It was like, in a way, the only clever thing he did was continue to say horrible things so that maybe some of them will be forgotten. But,
when you can get #traitor to trend all day, you've done some good presidenting.
And also, we're too. Who says this? We're both countries that have a lot of nuclear weapons,
right?
And he could be a foe. Maybe he'd be a foe,
right? If Mueller doesn't stop it, who knows?
Yeah,
be a shame if something happened to it.
I mean, this guy. This is what bothers me when bad things get popular. It's not as bad as Home Improvement being the #1 show.
Right.
But it shows a level. It's like he should never have been in the position he was in to steal the election.
Right.
And the fact that I don't have much sympathy for anybody who bought his thing.
So you're officially ready to apologize for voting for him?
Look, it was lesser of two evils. It was two very unpopular candidates. I've never had a woman president. What do I know? What if she acts funny? No, that's a lie. I voted for Gary. Gary, he was the governor.
Snappy.
He was the governor who didn't know what's Islamabad or he didn't know the name of a city.
All right.
Tell me about it.
I'm sort of geography scholar. Paris, France? Fine. Paris, France.
You happy now? Oh, my God. So I couldn't stop watching today, in a way. How do you handle it?
No, well, first I went to Fox News. I was like, oh, my God.
Do you ever go there?
Almost never, but I had to go straight there after the summit. And for the first 20 minutes after the summit, which is all I could take, the best they could rise to was, it could have been worse.
Oh my God.
Someone from the Wall Street Journal going, well, it could have been worse, but.
But then they started to get more extreme, right?
Well, as the
day went on,
as the Hannitys started chirping in, and
did Hannity turn on him too?
No, Hannity was fucking right up his ass. Hannity and Tucker Carlson did an interview with him in Helsinki today.
The thing about Tucker Carlson that many people don't know, because they don't watch garbage programming like I have for 30 years, like Crossfire. I've watched that guy from the mid to late 80s on, and he stinks. He is not a nice person. He's not a perceptive person.
No, he's not even a good broadcaster or showman. No,
yeah, he's just
a twerpy little piece of shit.
Who you used to think, and then he used to have the bow tie.
He still does.
And that was literally the only interesting thing about him, and it wasn't interesting.
Yeah.
And he's just a horrible man.
Absolutely.
But today I heard on MSNBC that someone was going, his ratings aren't so good. I'd love it that his ratings aren't so good.
Yeah.
I'd like Trey Gowdy to replace him. Trey Gowdy has created. I'm
Trey Gowdy, the angry drifter, and I'm here on Fox News every night at 9.
I don't give a damn.
I don't give a damn what you want.
Can you believe these?
Tonight at 9. I don't give a damn what you want.
So here's what they do. They would find my emails, and they go, "Oh, this guy." There was not one thing that
guy never returns emails. Is what they do.
But there's not one thing that Peter Strzok said that hasn't occurred to me. I mean, even the stuff about Hillary or whatever. I don't know everything he said, but just
he was pretty good on the stand.
he was great. Yeah. But when they go, how do you look at that Louis Gohmert is
that was hilarious.
He is such a weasel.
I just oh come on, hey, what's wrong with when everyone jumped on his ass. What? Are you off your meds? What? Come on, that's out of line. What's wrong with you? Mr. Chairman.
I fell in love with a couple of those. I mean, not like sexually in love, but a couple of those feisty Democrats.
There was a couple of showboaters that came out.
Yeah, but showboaters,
the good side of the showboat.
Here's the show.
Let's just say that it's good that they set that place up like a grandstand because that's all that's fucking going on there.
That's true. Showboating.
That's the deficit rag. Well, I think it's break time.
Okay.
All we can do is go politics now, and that doesn't help anybody.
There's no way when we come back that we should do more politics unless we do it like an improv game.
Right. Yes.
Okay. Name me a dictator. Hitler. Name me a place. Germany. Maybe Hitler.
Kindler Prov.
Name me a World War II figure with a mustache who killed a lot of people. Hitler, thanks.
Charlie Chaplin killed all the time.
What is the point of asking for the suggestion if you're just going to do some... Why don't you just pick it up yourself and go dentist in Toledo?
Because that's,
sleeping with a duck.
So just playing cards.
I don't know. I'm so angry about things that are unimportant that I don't even know that much about. It probably would be great to be an improv sports comedy thing. Mixed nuts.
Mixed nuts for sure.
I'm Filbert.
I'm Hazel.
And we're mixed nuts. If I had a group like that, though, I would use the Z spelling.
For sure.
That's what would have made visitors. That would have been cool. Visitors.
Oh, your band, yes.
The visitors. Here's what happens.
Yeah.
I know I'm not funny, but then I do kind of make myself laugh through my own desperation.
You commit to yourself.
I commit to how bad it is.
Yeah.
And then it is generally funny.
Yeah.
It's more funny than it's tragic. No, it's both funny and tragic.
It's tragic.
Tragic. Hey, do you use the term hangry?
I don't.
Have you heard it though?
Sure.
You know what it means?
I do. It means my wife when it gets bad.
Oh, that's right. But I have a version of it. I punch myself in the mouth when I'm eating a sandwich.
You have Hannock.
I Hannock eat.
I have my own version of hangry. I Hannock.
I'm hangry. I think when civilization gets to a level where you're saying things like, I'm hangry, you shouldn't do it. That's when they're going to look back. That'll be our Roman Empire decline.
It's something you should only say to a frenemy.
I saw you. I didn't see you come up with the line, but I saw the look of satisfaction.
Yeah.
As you...
Pre-satisfied.
You knew. How could it not be? First of all, it's going to go over.
For the joke, party of one.
My idea of a punchline is etc. etc. and so on. Wait, we didn't take the break.
No.
Okay.
No,
so what do you have for us this week?
What do you feel like?
I feel like a song that makes me want to cry, but I request that every week.
Yeah, no, I don't feel like that.
How about
you know what I have is this even involves you in a weird way. This is I heard this on the iPod this week on the shuffle.
Beautiful.
So this, you know how I tend to finish projects that I start?
Is that like a joke? You don't finish them?
No, I do.
I do finish them.
But yeah. This is stuff from a project that I completely fucking bailed on. Many years ago. Remember when Flash animation was a thing?
Yeah.
Like when Icebox.com and Hard Drinkin' Lincoln and all those Flash cartoons. And
yeah, I do remember a little bit of it.
So at that time, I was like thinking, hey, I can do that kind of thing. And I had this guy an animator who was going to help me do this Flash cartoon. I wanted to do, and I was going to do, and you were involved in this, a Naked Trucker cartoon.
Oh, I do remember that.
Yes. So Naked Trucker is a character.
Oh, we did a session too, right?
Yes. Naked Trucker is a character by Dave Gruber Allen, who is Mr. Ross on Freaks and Geeks and from the Higgins Boys and Gruber, Gilmore Girls, blah. And tons of shit with me over the years, including my band and all that. I've talked about him every episode. I think we all know who he is now. So he had this show, long-running show around town called The Naked Trucker.
Which was an amazing live show.
Hilarious live show with David Koechner, who played a character called T-Bones. David Koechner was from Anchorman and Saturday Night Live, and now he's on Superior Donuts. But we were going to do a spin-off where it was of a cartoon, Naked Trucker, and he was going to have a sidekick, not Koechner, because that was his character for his, they each brought their character to the show. So his sidekick was going to be this buzzard that rode along with him because it's a cartoon. And that was played by Trace Beaulieu, who played Crow on Mystery Science Theater. Gruber played Naked Trucker, obviously. Andy played the villain of the pilot episode, which I started to make, El Diablo.
I remember that, but I remember El Diablo. I don't remember him in relation to that project, but it sticks in my head.
He was like a crack lord, a crank lord,
right?
Speed. He was making crank because it's a trucker thing. But the only thing I really remember about El Diablo was the line, "You go, I'm El Diablo," and Gruber goes, "What? You're the devil?" And you go, "No, I'm El Diablo."
I like that.
And Melissa Samuels played a part in that.
I love her.
So we did the sessions, and we started the animation, and then I realized the rate it was going, it was like making the guy doing the animation miserable. Like he really thought he could pull off this thing by himself, and it was like, it was one of those times where I had like, okay, I've spent X amount of money. I could chase this thing, but I've now found out it's completely impractical based on the model I'm setting out to do. So I'm just going to pull the fucking plug.
Why? Because the animation changed?
The animation was just going to take forever, and it was going to ruin this guy's life, and it wasn't going to be a model that I could sustain.
Did you throw some money at it?
So yeah, I threw some money at it.
I don't remember getting paid for my session.
You don't remember, but you probably did.
I don't even know why. Why do I say the hackiest things in the most inopportune times?
Because you're a comedy partner.
Why don't you?
I did get far enough, and I made some demo music for this thing, which is my point going in. I got a couple of pieces of music that I demoed out. So this would be the Naked Trucker cartoon theme.
Cool. Do you know? Sure, you say who's playing on it or what the?
I'm doing the singing. Tommy Chan is doing the instrumenting.
Boy, you really sound like a country boy sometimes.
Well, I'm just getting into character.
From the shores of California to the woods of northern Maine, when you gotta move your load, you only need to know one name: the trucker, the Naked Trucker. When it needs to get there fast with no trouble from the law, when you want no questions asked, then there's just one man to call: the trucker, the Naked Trucker. 10-4, good buddies, music this spot to put a funny joke. Thank you. When the trucker's around, then action's always near. When the going gets tough, he gets his butt in gear. With freedom as a cargo and a buzzard by his side, put your eyes and ears on and come and take a ride with Trucker, the Naked Trucker, the Naked Trucker. Oh, that's me. Who?
Great.
Well,
I love that.
Ill-fated. But Gruber would have sung it had we, done the real one.
That's not Gruber singing?
No, that was me singing like Gruber.
It sounds like Gruber to me.
Excellent.
Oh, how do you do these things? I can do Jimmy Durante. Singing?
The Naked Trucker.
What was the theme song for the TV show? I don't remember it.
I don't remember. I don't know if there was an actual theme song. Well, there was a Naked Trucker theme, but that was for the live show.
Oh, okay.
And then I also did this. I did some quick chase music for a little chase scene in the thing, and I meant to like do a takeoff of "Eastbound and Down" by Jerry Reed from Smokey and the Bandit, but I ended up really just doing a ripoff of Eastbound.
Oh, well, I got confused because I thought that's the name of a show, Eastbound, and
It was years later.
oh, and they took it from a song.
From Smokey and the Bandit.
And what was the name of the group that did it? In Smokey and the Bandit.
It was Jerry Reed.
But Jerry Reed, he also acted in things.
Yes.
And I loved him.
Smokey and the Bandit, for example.
Well, I never saw the Smokey and the Bandit movies. I also seen something else that he was in.
You know
I remember.
you know who else was in Smokey and the Bandit?
Who's that?
Jackie Gleason.
Oh.
So here's the chase music.
Lay that hammer down, get those gears a shifting. You pay him cash, he'll drop off your load. I got a clear shot through to Branson, and the trucker ain't got no pants on. But the hammer's down and he's burning up the road. Got 18 wheels burning up the road.
Oh man, that brings back memories. Not anything that I did, but I love the whole concept of the naked trucker. Do you know how he came up with the idea of being naked? I mean, I know he's not really naked because he'd have something on.
Yeah, he wore like a jazz belt.
He did wear a jazz belt.
I played in the Naked Trucker band many a time.
Did you see too much of his backside?
You seeing there was he had various versions, but a lot you just didn't want to be back there. Is my point.
There's no reason. Right.
You know?
That's not the kind of a behind the scenes.
But they eventually had a TV show on Comedy Central.
Right, I remember that. But I also remember seeing them in the clubs
Many times.
many times and loving it.
Yeah, it was a very it was a great show.
And I love groupers.
Tommy Chan, who played there, was part of the Naked Trucker band.
And to this day, the residuals,
Rolling in.
do they still play the no. How many did they make?
I don't know, half dozen, I think.
Yeah, you know, I still say I've made more failures than anybody else. I did that and 9 others. Well, I don't know why I'm trying to one-up you with
You're
failures.
sort of one downing.
One down you. I've done it you did a pilot that didn't go? I did an in-house presentation.
That didn't go.
That didn't even film. Well, didn't even film. It was a play.
Oh, he one downed me.
I one downed you. I haven't made the right decision about anything in my career. Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah? Well, I've made nothing but bad decisions, and I've sabotaged others. Burn, I one downed you.
Unfortunately, this reminds me of the Spectrum commercial.
Oh, damn.
Where the guy goes to the door and he goes, you want the Spectrum? And he goes, no. I go, I'll sweeten the deal. It doesn't have a sports package or something.
Did you see this?
No. What's going to happen?
No, look.
Lucky no. Oh, you know what? This is a perfect example. This is like a Rorschach test for me. Can I listen? Can I even focus for a second? I wanted to figure out that photo.
Yeah.
And I thought it was this hall,
Yeah.
but I still, it confused me. I would have had to have phoned a friend on it. Does Lucky get, about how long before the show does she start getting antsy?
When the mics come out, she'll
Really?
Yeah, she knows. Once she sees the mic, she knows it's podcast night.
So she enjoys that. She enjoys seeing me.
Yeah, she is. She's excited when you're there.
All right, because you used to do a number on me about your dog.
Yeah.
And you used to say they didn't love me like...
Well, that she still doesn't love you like she loves me.
I don't understand.
It's not going to happen.
Why don't we do an experiment? You leave for a couple of weeks and see if she cares.
Oh man, you should have seen Clyde when Allison got home from England this week. Oh my God, was he a happy dog?
Wow.
He was making some joy noises that I've never seen come out
So this
of
is
him.
something that we all could do. If Donald Trump had done this earlier, he wouldn't have become a narcissist.
Gotten a dog?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. It wouldn't have hurt.
But he would have not been good with a dog. Get
No,
over
'cause-
here.
No, because the dog will get attention.
Yeah. The dog... I can't think of my Donald Trump dog bit. Wow. I wish you had filmed that for me.
Filmed what? Allison?
The
I tried.
return.
Yeah. It really was like one of those military return things. He was so excited.
How did he know she was back? Just when he saw her, right?
That was a real big clue for him when she walked through the door. Yeah. How did he know she was back? He says.
He says.
You want to go to some questions?
Let's do it, baby.
All righty.
Hey, and I came up with a song for questions. You want to hear it?
Yeah, do I?
So say me, hey, baby. So question me, please. Please, please. I need your questions. Give it to my back. Ooh, you've lost that questioning feeling. Are you going to cut all that out?
No, I might loop it. That might be the second hour. Kenny Loggins III.
I love you, Kenny Loggins III.
He wants to know, when can I expect the very first Spiral Con, where everyone dresses up like their favorite character from Thought Spiral? I just picture like 200 people dressed like Peruche.
That's so funny. That is, you can't, and I'll know if you're a Peruche imposter. So don't even try it. What did I do? Was I supposed to answer more than that?
No, it was fun.
I think it's a great idea. It's not a great idea.
I think we just did that at the Improv the other night, and it was attended by tens of people.
Well, that's how you think Burning Man started. At the Improv Lab.
With kindling.
Bing, bangy, bingy, bing, beep, boop, ba-doop, ba-doop. My name is close to fire. Also, it's like little kids. Mamba little short. I'm trying to do it to the Mama's little.
I know, but you made that a joke about you when it was a joke about Burning Man.
Oh. How
did Burning Man start?
And then what'd you say?
I said with kindling.
Right, but that came back to me.
Well, because you're narcissistic.
No. No. Who's going to admit that they were wrong about someone?
I don't know, but they do say, I read a thing or heard a thing that said that that asking a narcissist if they're a narcissist is as effective as a personality test for narcissists. Because it's about them. They don't mind admitting it.
Wow. I wish I had better reaction words.
Wow was
wow.
At least it was from the menu of appropriate responses.
I heard Trump say fantastic. He doesn't use fantastic that much.
No, he must have been off his game.
It's fantastic because fantastic isn't great enough, right?
No,
it's really amazing,
stupendous. I don't think he goes
the greatest.
Badger Blast said, did either of you watch Space Ghost Coast to Coast? Not really. If so, favorite episode? Moot.
Did
you watch Space Ghost?
I did watch it, and I think I enjoyed it when I watched it, but I didn't watch that much of it. Is it possible, and I don't want to one-up you, or could I have been on the show?
Very possible that you were.
I think I was, because the guy, it's kind of a wise guy.
Because it wasn't like,
really hard to get on. Was the guy a wise guy? The Space Ghost. He's like a talk show where he was like a wise guy.
Yeah, but it was also sort of disjointed and kind of non sequitur-y.
Well, there's a lot of shows that I don't even really know if I get on Cartoon Swim or Adult Swim. Like there's one where there's a slice of pizza and there's talking to a milkshake.
Yeah.
What is that? Adventure Brothers?
No, it's a different thing, but...
Why don't I just familiarize myself with things instead of coming at it like the oldest Jew in town? Would you watch that Adult Swim? Would you recommend any of those shows for me? Tom Goes to the Mayor? What's the plot?
Second part of Badger Blast question. Secondly, I want both of your wives on the podcast to express grievances and their perspectives on being married to both of you. No.
My wife wouldn't agree to it.
No.
Would your wife agree to it?
Yeah, she would, but...
But your wife
But she wouldn't be dripping with grievances, I don't think.
Well, she lives here, too, so that might be more convenient if we're going to start to introduce the wives. I can record my wife separately, and then who knows where she was. What?
Huh?
Mm-hmm. I watch so many Datelines. Oh, my God. I love Datelines, and I love Strange Murders.
Is Strange Murders a show?
No, but it's like there's some things like if it's too graphic how someone died.
Yeah.
Like I don't like that so much. But I like it was like this. I like any Unabomber like story. I mean, that's the ultimate.
Yeah.
I don't like that there was a Unabomber.
Right.
But I do find his story fascinating, and the fact that his brother had to turn him in is amazing to me.
So what attracts you? The axe to grind? Is that what attracts you?
When I heard the Unabomber, I go, why can't I be more focused like that? He's focused.
I'm always busy multi-bombing. Yes.
Why did they call him the Unabomber? Because he used to wear the hat?
Because he did universities and.
That's not. Come on, stop it. What if we were in the naming serial killers union? All right, what do you got? The Boston choker? What do you think? The Boston hugger? Hug to death? The Boston strangler. I like the sound of that. Run that by marketing. You know that he may not have, Albert DeSalvo may not have done the crime, right?
I don't know.
God.
As far as I'm concerned, he did.
Wow, because a jury of his peers?
Yes.
Oh, well then I guess you think Ethel Rosenberg was as involved as the other Rosenberg. I think she went along with it because you can't fight that guy. It's like asking him for directions. I'm giving the secrets to the Russians, Ethel.
Julius, will you please pull over and give the secrets to someone domestic?
Are you going to nag me? Are you going to nag me, Ethel?
Julie, please.
And now, if you love the 10,000-year-old man, you will love
the Rosenbergs.
Andy Kindler and J. Elvis Weinstein on their new hit series, the Rosenbergs.
We're off to Coney Island today. We just have to stop by the Russians.
Julius. What's she like, Homer? Julius, we have to go to the communist meeting. No, Ethel, we need to go to the... Ethel, isn't that interesting? It's kind of like I Love Lucy. I used to like when Letterman played as his always standard tear jerky song. We had it all like Bogey and McCall. Oh, God. You know, I've never once in my life recalled something and added anything to it.
Guy Incognito, would either of you go on the show Hot Ones and test your Scoville medal? Also, just for shits and giggles, can we hear Dennis Miller discussing the World Cup, in particular what countries he doesn't care for?
No, that's a good. That's up your alley.
Right up my alley, huh? Like I'd watch that fucking game. Right.
Uruguay.
Yeah, for fucking towel heads. That's what.
Oh no! You went too far. What? You went too far. You immediately turned him into a racist. He might be a racist.
Oh yeah, I really turned him right into that.
Yeah, like he didn't.
Yeah.
He didn't do that after 9/11.
Quite a push,
Habib. All right. What was the first part of the question?
Would either of you go on the show Hot Ones?
What is that?
It's a show where the guy asks you questions as you go up. You eat a chicken wing with hot sauce on it before.
Is this
each
Rory
question.
Scoville's really his show?
That's
Or
not
he was
Rory
on it?
No, the Scoville meter is what determines the hotness of a pepper.
Named after.
Scoville.
Hey, thanks for fleshing it out. Now, I could never.
Why would named after be a fucking insight into
Well,
the
Richter is an
Scoville
interesting
units?
story. I was Andy Richter's grandfather came up with the Richter scale.
Yeah, really.
Well, I can't eat. Do you like hot wings like that? No.
I like hot wings, but not enough to like go on a show and go into the crazy, crazy hot. I just saw Tom Segura on it the other day, though.
And did he progress?
He went all the way through, and he was sweating and crying and snotting by the end.
You mean you go all the way through? You answer the questions.
Yes, you increase the Scoville units of the sauce.
But you lose. I would not want to get anything right.
It's not a quiz show. It's
What
an
is it?
interview show.
Oh, it's an interview show.
Yeah.
Well, why didn't you why didn't you also, while telling me the story, insert like B Team to listen to you. B Team. Show business.
I don't understand even.
Yeah, A Team, B Team.
Yeah.
Like you could do this bit with my stand-in.
Ah.
Wow.
It's not going well tonight.
Hey, look. Hey, I know when something didn't work. You think I need you to go, woohoo? I mean, there's not funny and wow.
There's Kindler.
And there's Kindler. Hey, if you look up unfunny in the dictionary, they have a picture of you there, and Andy, and how much you've made.
Nick Kosei says, hello, matey and Captain Yablomia. TS62 was phenomenal, although I must say...
Am I Yablonia?
They were asking our pirate names last show. TS62 was phenomenal, although I must say, Andy, I haven't seen someone go so blue since I hired 3 guys in body paint to play percussion for my wife on my wedding night. Ba, 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 potato.
That is a great Blue Man Group. And I've used, I turned down a role in, I can't remember that movie. The one that we couldn't remember, The Blue People, James Cameron.
Oh, Avatar?
I turned down a role in Avatar so I wouldn't have to go blue. So I'm saying that I'm funny and that was a funny reference and we're all funny. Have you ever seen Blue Man Group?
Not live, no.
Neither have I.
Seems loud.
Are they playing on, what, isn't there a show called Stomp?
There is.
And what, was that them just stomping around for a couple hours?
That's all it is, yeah.
Did you ever see Evita when there were commercials for it every second? Don't cry for me, Argentina. You were supposed to have been immortal. You know what?
All they wanted.
Not much to ask for.
I kept my promise.
You kept your distance.
Come see the Broadway hit only at the Pantages Theater for the next 17 months.
Now, the Pantages Theater, are they doing road company shows of real Broadway shows?
Yes.
That sounds terrible. It really does.
It happens.
Oh, wow.
Ooh.
Every time I think of that, I think of in the Goodfellas when Christopher shoots a guy in the foot and he's like, ah! And he goes, it happens. If I ever do shoot someone in the foot, I'm going to use that joke.
Josh Caterer says, Josh, your impressions are fantastic. Would love to hear you do Ted Knight, Ted Levine, or any famous Teds.
Who's Ted Levine?
I don't know. Lou, Murray, how about a Fresca?
Lou. Come on, Lou.
He asked me.
I don't care. I'm so sick and tired of you only asking the email questions that set up your impressions. It's pissing me off. Thank you.
Let me find one that requests that you whine like a little girl then.
Thank you for my sound. And thank you, Allison, for my Oxford University. It must be, it's beautiful over there, right?
Yes, I think so.
That's my image of it.
Think Harry Potter.
Did you tweet that? Oh, no. Tom Sharpling said, I want to get into Harry Potter. How would you recommend we get into it? Oh, I wanted to do a thing. Have you seen Mike Huckabee's tweets?
Yes.
This is the worst thing now, is when horribly unfunny people think they're funny and they're horrible politicians. He does gags on his Twitter line. I'll come back better prepared next time. Not just half an anecdote.
I bashed a Dennis Miller tweet once by liking it to almost up to Mike Huckabee level. Let's see. Seth Dick III has a little questionnaire for us.
I'm ready.
Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
McDonald's or Burger King?
But you have to answer too.
I just need to keep the cadence. I'll go back for me. Coke or Pepsi?
Coke.
McDonald's or Burger King?
Burger King.
Pinball or foosball?
Pinball.
Mount Rushmore or Washington Monument?
Washington Monument.
Soft.
No, that's bullshit. Because I'm still like with the Rushmore, like, look how big those heads are. That's kind of the way I reacted to that.
Yeah.
But the Washington Monument is still more grand.
Okay. Soft pretzels or crunchy pretzels?
Neither anymore. Neither, because I don't like those really hard sourdoughs.
Yeah.
But I do like a soft pretzel sometimes at the ball game.
Okay, so...
But in general, okay, Wetzel. I go with Wetzel.
Okay, so soft pretzel. Okay, that's it. I'm going to go Coke. I'm going to go McDonald's just because I prefer their iced tea. They have good unsweetened iced tea. Because if I'm desperate, which is I have to be.
That's not that desperate. I have many friends who choose iced tea.
No, I mean, if I'm desperate and I'm choosing between McDonald's or Burger King.
It is a desperate choice, right?
It's a desperate choice, and I don't prefer one over the other, but if I had to choose, it would be McDonald's because of the iced tea.
Ah, well, in the old days, before the lawsuits, McDonald's had good coffee. I mean, relatively good coffee for, like Dunkin' Donuts level coffee for.
Yeah. All right. And you're saying they stopped having good coffee because they couldn't make it scalding hot?
No, and that's another urban myth about that too. Like, they knocked down the settlement for that woman,
right.
But she really was burned.
She was badly burned.
Yeah.
Yes. Greg Kelly says, I was just in San Diego. Have you been to the famous zoo there or Comic-Con? I have been to both.
I
had more fun at the zoo.
When did you go to Comic-Con?
I went to Comic-Con for the 20th anniversary of Mystery Science Theater. We did a huge panel.
No, what year was that?
2008.
Oh, well, everybody says, like, I'm a big comic book fan, but I don't read all types of comic books, and I don't think I wouldn't mind going to a convention or whatever, but they said when it started, it was like amazing, really fun and subversive. But then it got very corporate, right? Because they're promoting things.
It's a fucking nightmare is what it was.
Where is it held?
It's at the San Diego Convention Center.
Oh, okay.
It's like a fucking 125,000 people.
And where did you stay when you were there?
I stayed at some hotel that they put me up at.
The Balahalahu?
It was awful. It was panic attack level crowded.
Oh, how many days were you? Just one day?
I was there on parts of 2 days.
And did people come up to you? Obviously they did.
Not me so much. I mean, depending on who I was with, but
right.
like 1,200 people came to the panel, and a shit ton got turned away too. It was a big deal.
So do you get claustrophobic, or do you get nervous in big crowds?
I don't like crowds. I do not like being in a crowd.
That's why I never saw you at the Nazi rallies, right? Because I was always there. And I loved it.
Yes.
I'm Jewish. I'm allowed to say I love Nazis.
Are you? And have it be funny?
No, I can't do all of that. Baby Steps. That was a good movie where, what's his name? Kevin Kline was like a psychologist.
Yeah.
Baby Steps. What was that movie called?
It was Richard Dreyfuss. That was the psychiatrist. And it was What About Bob?
See, this is the type of thing I love. But I guess if you did it all the time, I'd get spoiled. Did we answer the last question?
I think we did.
Did you?
I've been to the zoo as well. That's where I found out. That's where I found out my wife is terrified of the sky ride.
Oh, is that like it's like is it like a Ferris wheel kind of in a way that you feel like you're?
It's like an open thing that rides on a cable above the park from one end of the park.
And it's just scary if you don't like that type of thing.
Yeah.
So she wouldn't want to go up to the top of the Empire State Building.
She would probably do that, but she wouldn't want to go in a hot air balloon.
Oh God, I can't tell you how many. I've been on 3 to 4 hot air balloons this summer. They're the greatest fun. I'm not kidding. Let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
Please be honest with me.
I would totally go on a hot air balloon first.
How many people would you say? All the people who go on hot air balloons die? Half the people who go on? What would you say? It's a high percentage.
It's a very small percentage.
I don't believe that. What was the Hindenburg?
That was a hydrogen balloon.
I don't even understand. Do you think before the Hindenburg that they should have seen that was a bad idea?
They might have thought it through.
Did that end that whole?
It hurt the industry badly. Yeah.
Well, what did they do? How far were they going to fly with that thing?
They flew from Germany to New Jersey.
You mean so it wasn't the first flight like the
No,
iceberg?
it was a literal mode of transportation.
I can't believe it.
Not a good one, but yeah.
Well, how did you just float on air to New York?
Yeah.
Did it have propellers? I don't even care anymore.
Yes, they did have propellers.
Oh, very good.
It wasn't just like, hopefully the wind's going the right way.
The only hot air balloons I know of, I think there's one in the Wizard of Oz.
It wasn't a hot air balloon. It was hydrogen.
Oh, hydrogen. I
Which
see.
is
That's why
lighter than air.
I see. It was what?
Lighter than air. Like a helium balloon, only hydrogen.
I get it now.
Okay.
I get it. Now
But
I've
a hot
got
air
it.
balloon is neither of those. It's hot air.
And it's not as dangerous, maybe.
Well, it's not flammable. The gas that is just hot air.
So, hydrogen-filled balloon, how could they have avoided it exploding? Don't smoke around it? How did it explode?
A spark was caused. I don't know.
Oh, God. I mean, that's the thing.
Probably not someone smoking.
Well, nobody with OCD invented that. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
Because
no one with OCD invented anything. good.
See, the Hindenburg is a thing where I can't get it out of my mind. It's like a Zeppelin, right? Is that where Led Zeppelin got their name?
Yes.
Oh, God. Please make this end. Why don't you shoot me? I'm serious.
Okay.
I'm not asking. No, it's that from Spinal Tap. I'm not asking you. I'm telling you. Kick my ass.
Jim Meehan. Oh, that was Paul Schaefer. Right?
Hi, Jim.
Says, I'm really enjoying the musical breaks. Thank you. It feels like when you really like your roommate's band without having to load speakers into a van at 3 a.m.
Oh, I remember those days.
Yeah, I used to live with a drummer.
You live with the drummer?
Yeah, so there'd be a lot of helping him load back in the winter up the stairs to our townhouse or our duplex.
Oh, live band playing is fun.
Mark Thompson wants to know, do either of you have a joke you really like but cannot get audiences to like? No, not Andy. How long will you try to rework it before giving up?
I go a long time. I don't harp on it, but I don't let it go until I really convince myself that maybe I thought there was something funny in it, but it doesn't seem to have worked out.
Yeah.
I can think of that. I'm trying to think if there's a current joke like that. Lots of them.
Right. Yeah, I don't stick with big bits that don't work for very long, but there will be tags or asides that I'll keep in a joke just because I think that they're really funny, and
Right.
they don't, they won't get a laugh much, but they won't stop the bit either.
I have a bit like that. It's called the uninformed cashier. I saw a sign, and I thought it said uninformed cashier, but it said uniformed cashier, and I would do a whole thing like, what if you was uninformed, and which way is the freeway? I don't know, sir.
How much is this?
Yeah, I don't know. But you work here. Yes, but I'm uninformed. And it would get a laugh. It was okay.
Yeah.
And then I realized people are stupid, man. They don't get you. So then things like that I will drop.
Yeah.
If there are things that are, especially if there are anything involved.
Yeah.
But I remember this joke that I tried to make work. Hitler was the first person to refer to his enemies as haters. See? Even you don't think it's done. Because he is a hater, Hitler.
Yeah, no, I'm with you.
So he's referring to his enemies. So what about the Jews? Oh, you mean the haters? So I would try to explain it more. And then after a year, I said, you know what? Let it go, baby.
After a year.
As my mom has said, leave Hitler. Why don't you leave Hitler alone?
I had my last Temptation of Christ joke was one of those that I'd pull out.
And let me hear that.
You've seen it. I've done it for you. It's the last Temptation of Christ. Is that chocolate pudding? With the arms out.
That's very good. Yeah. You know what? And the thing is, the people who went to that movie and loved it are not sensitive.
Probably true.
And how many other Jim Caviezel?
Different movie.
Oh, you're talking about Scorsese.
Yeah. That was William Dafoe, was Jesus.
Oh, and how was that movie?
It was better than the Jim Caviezel.
That was terrible, right? First of all, I don't want to see any movies Directed by Mel Gibson.
Stand By Your Man wants to know, can you believe this shit?
I can't.
Nor can I.
Is he talking about...
Don't know.
I think he means Trump.
Pick your poison.
I think he means Trump. I'm still embarrassed about Trump. I just can't believe it.
Well, this is appropriate then.
Okay.
Terry Caulfield, no question. Just thought I'd tell you how much I love the show. My favorite is when Andy gets so angry with politics and the current administration, he starts to cuss. Please make that a regular segment.
I do. You know, I do enjoy. Don't get me wrong. I don't mind cussing, but I do stay away from it. And you know why I stay away from cursing on Twitter?
Why's that?
I think they're going to round me up or something. I think that's the way they'll round me up.
Really?
That's all I think about is how, like, you know, like, I know you never. There's some things that you can't. You know, like to strangle that guy. You know, you can't tweet those things if it's the president or anybody.
But you don't ever delete tweets either, which is for someone who's afraid of their paper trail.
Well, I'm not a very bright man, and you just told me that on a lot of occasions. I don't remember it. I'm not listening.
How many ways? How many doors?
Well, once
this?
you gave me a balloon animal.
All right. It said
that wasn't funny.
Take care of this for a week.
Yeah. Then another time you came over my house in the middle of the night and you put my hand in warm water and I peed.
Yeah.
And I got up and you said, "You're not funny," and you left.
All right.
I don't know what that was about.
There was a series of dunce hats I sent you.
Those were the days. You know, we think we're in the golden age of comedy. The days when you actually had dunce hats. Is that like tarring and feathering? Is that, it's not.
In terms of shame quotient, it kind of is for a kid.
Can you survive being tarred and feathered?
I think you can, but you're never the same.
I don't think you are the same after you're tarred and feathered. What is the wrong with us? I would never have come up with tarred and feathered on my worst day. Maybe I would dip a guy's head in honey and get some bees around them. I don't have a torturer in me. I hate the idea.
I think you
not that
underestimate yourself.
I didn't say torturer. I didn't say I'm torturous. Don't sell yourself long.
Ira wants to know, not knowing how the live podcast went on the 10th, any chance of one in Montreal? Thought spiral closer to Toronto than LA.
Well, eventually, I would like to go to Toronto at one point, but it's too late for that. It's too late for Montreal this year. But I love Montreal, and I think it would be fun. That being said...
Tony DeSena, who I went out to dinner with the other night, once pointed out that you need to put Thought Spiral in your bio for Montreal.
Why isn't it in there?
I don't know.
Oh, well, that's ridiculous.
You don't care.
No, I do care, but I don't. I got to start to get all over it. I remember. I'm getting better at everything. Every day I wake up and the sky is.
Tommy Barcanero.
Tommy Barcanero. Hey, Barcanero.
Yoshi's actually next, so you.
Oh.
now I gotta wait a couple for Yoshi's question. Tommy Barcanero wants to know, what is the craziest thing you've seen at a large social gathering? I recently attended a wedding where the groom started punching one of the guests at the reception. That,
to me, would take the cake. Because I'm not trying to be a wedding cake thing, but could you? How could a groom? I want to know the rest of the story, but I haven't had. I can't think of anything crazy that happened.
I'm trying to think myself. I told that street fight story on the Marin show the other day.
Yeah,
that was
goes
pretty crazy.
That
was at a party.
I was waving a gun around in Altamont, but the guy who they saw him first, luckily.
Yoshi Yamamoto. Hey, Yamamoto. First, just want to state the live show was Huell Hauser fantastic. Fantastic.
That's fantastic.
And I encourage any other Thought Spiralites to attend in the future. Question. In a society and industry that isn't conducive to healthy marriages, how have you guys managed to keep it together? I'm sure no kids helps. I have a kid. I have a kid.
You have a kid.
I have a stepson.
I have a stepson. And already you feel bad about it.
But I have had a stepson I met him when he was 8 years old, and he's now 32 years old.
So that counts.
Yeah. But I don't know. I mean, you talk about your marriage first. Go ahead.
My marriage.
Why does it work?
Why does it work? Is the question why is a comedian?
How have you guys managed to keep it together?
Oh, okay. Not just as a comedian. It's like how does a comedian keep it together? I don't know. The thing is, obviously, I'm stalling. Well, I think you have to go through the ups and downs. We've gone through our ups and downs over the years, but but now we couldn't be more thrilled to see each other. That's how. I can't even talk about this without feeling odd.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't even sound sincere.
It doesn't.
But it doesn't sound sincere. But it is true, though, that my wife and I are really enjoying being around each other. And I think that's because I'm getting a lot of the OCD things under control and things like that.
Yeah.
So, but I have a tendency to look at life before therapy, life after therapy.
Right.
But I think when I was very defensive, like I could be with you, I think it was hard to be married to me, because I'm so sensitive.
More bicker time.
Yeah, more bicker time. But actually, one thing that sometimes the things that work in a marriage are things that you take for granted at the beginning. Like with my wife, I'm very comfortable around her all the time. It's like we just have the, surprisingly enough, there's times when I don't walk around like squeaking like a mouse.
Yeah.
So, and there's so many things that we feel the same way about that we don't talk about. Like we do have a similar sense of humor.
Right. Yeah. Well, that's crucial. Yeah. I mean, Allison and it'll be this next week. It'll be our 19th anniversary and 24 years together.
What day?
The 24th
of
July.
Wow.
It's our anniversary.
I never remember it.
Nor should you. But I don't know. The real key is we like each other. I mean, that is the key, and the only thing we really demand of each other is respect. Everything else we sort of figure out as we go. Mm-hmm. But like the only thing we really demand of each other is that we be nice to one another. That's, and as long as that's functioning, which, 99 point something in our lives it is, then it's not hard to be married, I realized when my wife was out of town that there's nothing I feel prevented from doing.
Right,
when my wife is in town. So,
Well, my therapist said to me, maybe I've said it before, but he said to me, that's the purpose of a marriage is to learn empathy and compassion, for each other.
Yeah. And it's like,
that's the main one.
You see so many people who are just constantly just fucking trying to score off their partner, and it's,
how do you mean? Like
belittling them and,
I see. Yeah.
It's
yeah.
just like people don't people don't see in this fucking world, if you can just be the person who doesn't give, of course I tease my wife,
right.
but I don't, you never put yourself in a position to be making their life harder.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And that if you can do that, then, then you're doing okay. Cause we've both, I don't know, we've given each other, the other thing I think that has been really crucial is that we've given each other plenty of space to grow and be happy in our own paths too. You know? So, Allison went off to school and, I went off to make documentaries and we both allowed each other the indulgence, I guess, of that,
Right.
Without a certainty to this is going to help our nest egg. There was none of that. It was just what's going to make you happy.
One thing that I do, if anyone wants my advice, which nobody does, is one thing that I try to do since I've been in therapy is to ask my wife out for things like let's go to the movies, let's go get a meal. I tend to have never made the plans, and it's nice to make the plans, and also it's nice to make plans to go somewhere and do something. and you can let it go for years, like movies or whatever it is.
Right.
So I always feel better once I am doing something, but I could be a hermit.
Yeah.
Not Herman's hermit, but a hermit.
Yeah, we're both, I mean, Allison and I have equal
Hermitage.
Yeah. We both have similar dread levels to anything that's on the calendar.
Right. That's interesting that I'm trying to have less dread. My dreading is always that I'm going to be late.
That was that's the going to things thing was a big key in our marriage too, which was we made the rule early on that you have to declare it important that the other person come to something, otherwise they aren't obligated. You always have to, if you want the other person to come with you to a thing, you have to say, I want you to come with me.
Oh, otherwise you're going to go alone.
Well, not necessarily, but the other person, you can't get mad at the other person for not going. You can't keep it a secret that you wanted them to come.
That's what screwed up my wedding night, was my wife.
But it's worked out really well, because, most of the time, we don't want to go to the other person's thing, and that's fine. But if she says, I want you to come to this, I'm there, and vice versa.
Well, getting rid of guilt and shame is a good lifelong goal.
Yeah.
Because I'm always like, I should have done this and I didn't do that.
Right.
So especially when someone passes away, I'm always like, I wish I had done that and I didn't do this. It's like, but now I'm learning that all those thoughts I have are normal. They're not abnormal. But I used to think, I didn't see them enough. Well, how could you be thinking that right after they die? And it's like,
that's the time to think that.
Yeah, I know. So I feel better. I think I'm prepared now for everybody to pass away. Sorry about that. Don't want to bring anybody down.
Heath Gardner says, watching the Robin Williams doc got me wondering what each of yours will be like. Could you each give a sample of some talking head footage you think you'll provide for the other's doc sometime in the future?
Well, I actually wrote some things because I was going to, on the jokes I gave you, which was like, because CNN does the history of comedy. So that I thought they would do CNN, the history of Andy Kindler's comedy. And he was over 30 when he got the Young Comedian special. But he was still excited about it. And it would be like that, but funny. How come people are asking us who don't come up with any bits?
Yeah.
So all of a sudden, it's like an improv group.
Right.
Mixed nuts.
Should I take requests off the thing?
No, you can request. I can request. So do you have one?
When they're asking me about Andy, I would say one of the really fun things about Andy is you could always make him feel bad. No matter what
That's
you were
true.
in the middle of, you could always make it so he felt bad about how he was behaving. And it was really a fun game.
It kept him less than, and it kept me more than.
Yes. That's how Andy made you feel good.
Yes. By you knowing that there could be no more emotionally disturbed person than him.
There's a certain there but for the grace of God go I quality that Andy brought to every interaction. Alrighty. Dr. Captagon says, we've heard her music. We know she's around, so why not have Allison say hi sometime? There's another request for wife time.
I'll tell you, here's the thing. There's going to be a better chance that Allison will appear than my wife will appear. Because my wife's not going to drive over here halfway through the show.
Right.
Or before the show.
Well, Allison decided early on in this process that she was going to disappear for this because she knows if she interacts with Andy, then the first 10 minutes of the show is Andy worrying if Allison liked him.
She's seen me at my most vulnerable, your wife. Because I in the old days, like when I was trying to use an app and I thought you thought I was yelling at your dog, those things would be like that'd be 3 or 4 days of wasted worrying.
Yeah.
I only do like now. I won't. If I worry into the second day, I'm gonna take a break.
Progress. Tweet Pahara.
Tweet Pahara.
Weinstein instead of Weinstein, even after interviewing Josh, who's this guy, for 30 minutes. Really, Mark? WTF indeed, Mr. Marin. Or WTF indeed, Mr. Marin. You guys are great, but Mark is getting too big for his britches.
This is the last position that either one of us want to be in. Is joining in on his tirade.
That's right. I was fine with him mispronouncing my name.
I asked him to mispronounce it. Because no matter what they're saying about you, it's, I don't see, actually, I don't think he's off his game at all, really, Mark. I think he just, it's amazing because he does all the recording. He records them, he uses the machine.
Yeah.
You do too.
Yes.
So I don't know what my point is. I like his new house, though.
It was lovely.
I mean, it was.
And I'll post his address on the website.
Now, come on, Josh.
Andrew Dempsey says, Andy, for Christ's sake, just watch the Blues Brothers, will you?
Yeah.
Agree with everything Josh said about it. Would be interesting to know your take on it.
I'm not anti it.
It's a loopy film.
I want to see it. I know Susan loves it, so she'll watch it again with
Oh, does
me.
she love it?
Yeah.
That's good.
Who's
She's back in then.
Is Shout in that movie? The original Shout people? You make me want to shout?
No.
They didn't perform in that movie?
No.
Animal House.
No. Well, that was Otis Day and the Nights, but that wasn't the original.
Come along and say you will. Shout. And a little bit louder now. I saw that scene from the Blues Brothers, right? Where Otis Day and the Nights is in there.
That is Animal House.
Okay. All right. I'm okay now.
Blues Brothers. You got your Ray Charles, you got your Aretha Franklin, you got John Lee Hooker.
I haven't seen one scene
You
from
got
there.
Cab Calloway, you got...
Oh, wow.
You got...
Louis Armstrong?
You got James Brown.
Steve Cropper?
Steve Cropper, Duck Dunn, Matt Guitar Murphy, who just died recently.
I'm sorry for all of it.
Yeah, you should be. Seth Dick III is back. Discuss your relationship with your facial hair, if you wear any. Do you ever have a beard or mustache?
I had a mustache for a time period that I was pretty happy with. I don't think it was great, but I was very unhappy with my beard because it had like a Lincoln quality to it.
Yeah.
It just was like, it had like...
No mustache, just a chin strap?
No, well, the mustache was fine, but the mustache was always good, but it wouldn't fill in the middle of the beard, so... I just couldn't do it. I mean, you can't hide this punum from the America.
No.
Thank you.
I have a beard. I've had a beard for a long time. I've had some form of beard for years and years and years.
But you do like an Ari Melber, though, sometimes, too, right?
Not too much.
No, it's consistent?
Well, it's a shitty beard I have.
It's a terrible beard.
Yeah.
It looks like you don't know how to draw. It's a nice beard, but I really enjoyed being mean about it. I don't want to say it's scraggly.
Yeah, but
the Unabomber bought it on eBay. I don't want to say it's scraggly, but Otis T. Who's the guy from Andy Berry?
But Trey Gowdy says maybe you should fill it in a little bit.
I don't give a damn. I'm Trey Gowdy. Watch me Sunday when I go the other way on the whole Russian thing.
Kathy McCarty says, please do Dennis Miller speaking Karen again.
I don't know if I can do that again. Karen, don't waste your time on me.
Choo-choo.
Man, you need someone who can help you be strong, like Lou Ferrigno.
You need someone who can help you belong, like
a Kardashian.
But Karen,
that person isn't numero uno, cha-cha.
It's amazing what will still get us excited.
All right. I think that's it.
Well, that's it. And I also have to, this is the only time I've ever done the podcast where I was feeling about, I could feel the plane coming in the morning. Normally I don't think about it, how long I've been doing it. I just am generally worried.
Right.
But now it's like...
I gotta pack.
Oh, you should see the OCD. You probably pack in 5 minutes.
About that, yeah.
I wish I could tell you... What I'd like to be able to tell you is, yeah, but what an advantage my way is, but it isn't.
No,
Because
because
I don't-
I just have the voice in my head that goes, "They have stores there."
That's where I told you, same thing I told the Berkowitz kid when you started to hear those voices.
The voice of reason.
Well, who is that guy? David Berkowitz?
The son of Sam.
I don't like, you call him the son of Sam. I call him by his name. I don't want to, I just got his face in my head.
Yeah.
And then it's like, I'm never going to watch, I watch all these true crimes. I'm never going to watch him too much. I was there, I think.
Well, don't worry. My dog will only tell you to go home.
Hey, that would be a good closing line, but we haven't done our teases. Don't forget to write to us at thoughtspiralshow@gmail.com.
Nicely played, my friend. I'm even going to edit that like you did it in one take.
And then please also rent, buy, or talk about I Need to Kill, which is Josh's documentary. I'm going to
very
Acme.
close. I Need You to Kill. It's on Amazon, streaming on Amazon Prime.
What am I,
and you
auditioning for
You can
Toastmasters?
pay for it elsewhere.
I'm going to Minneapolis tomorrow, but when will it be podcast wise?
2 days after you're done.
That's not bad. You know what's amazing? I haven't done it yet. Even now, I haven't done it yet.
But the week this is airing, if you're in Montreal, go see Andy hosting
The alternative show,
or go see Andy's State of the Industry address.
which I've changed what do they call when they have acronyms or something? Where they say Larry the Cable Guy is. I changed it now to SOTIA. Is that right?
I like SOTI. I like the SOTI.
Okay, I'm going to go back to SOTI then.
Yeah, the SOTI address.
Did you hear that?
I did. So will they.
Well, I love you very much, Josh. This was I thought I was on tonight, and you, reached a new level. I actually have to have someone come. I have to hire someone to come in to stop me from these bits now.
I'm just going to have to jerk you away from the mic, aren't I?
This is what the mindful meditation might help.
It might.
Well, so until next time, remember.
Om.
Om.